company, we come out of the higher education space. We have a strong background in higher education admissions, marketing, recruitment, enrollment management, as well as operations. We really have emerged as the leader in the Salesforce.com ecosystem. What we do is take Salesforce.com and convert it into a higher education product. So Tucker's going to be talking more about Salesforce.com, but we are big believers in Salesforce as a platform, and we've really transformed it into that higher education product that higher education needs. As far as our approach to it, we've actually developed an app for Salesforce. It's a higher education app that allows us to push upgrades and enhancements and really take advantage of cloud computing and that multi-tenant architecture that allows us to really push upgrades free and painless to our clients. But having said that, I'd like to talk about our experience in enrollment management and what we see from clients and prospects out there in the marketplace. So, what are the typical issues around enrollment management, and what are the usual pain points? As I'm sure many on the call can relate, we hear from clients that they don't have communication tools. They have very poor communication tools. They're not able to mass reach their prospects. They can't segment the constituency and target communications, whether it's emails or phone calls or even marketing pieces that go out in the mail. They want to be able to reach and properly segment their audience and improve their communication tools. One of the most common things we hear from people is poor reporting and analytics capabilities. We hear it so often where clients are frustrated. They essentially, to get data, they have to go to their IT departments. They have to beg them to run queries. The IT department is overburdened and understaffed, and to turn around these queries and these reports can be an arduous process, and by the time the end user even has them in their hands, these are outdated and stale information. And so our clients are really looking for solutions that can give them full transparency into the enrollment funnel, full history of all of the activities and performance metrics. Again, within inter-department transparency, we hear this often where our clients are frustrated, whether it's, for example, the admissions department not knowing what's going on with the financial aid department, or vice versa, or just marketing not knowing what's going on with admissions, knowing how effective their marketing campaigns are, their marketing events are in converting ultimately prospects into enrolled students. That sort of transparency or lack thereof is what we often hear is frustrating from our clients. Of course, limited automation and workflow. So we hear it, again, very often where clients are keystroking data into their existing systems, or manually sending out emails or manually following up on tasks and activities. And we endeavor to obviously automate much of this, make that much more simple, take out the manual process so that folks can really focus on those parts of their jobs that are more effective, such as enrolling more students. And finally, we hear so often that whatever systems are in place today in the institution are often very inflexible, often require significant IT resources, and just really are not scalable. And so having said that, I mean, we really do see one of three ways that schools are currently managing enrollment management. So, we always ask the question, how does your school operate from an admissions perspective? And we either will see schools that are working with rogue and legacy systems. These might be Excel spreadsheets, email inboxes, paper records. And obviously, these are not transparent solutions. These are not scalable solutions. They're very inefficient if you're leaving it up to individual admissions advisors and enrollment counselors to come up with their own systems, keep their own paper records, manage their own relationships. Well, from a scalability perspective, if that person never leaves or if you hire on additional staff, that's a very hard process to replace or train. So obviously, rogue and legacy systems just are not what the forward-thinking institutions would want to be using to manage enrollment management. The alternative to that, which we often see, is schools using their student information systems. I'm sure we're all familiar with the large student information systems in the space. As I'm sure many can appreciate, from an enrollment management perspective, from an admissions perspective, these systems were not designed as CRM systems. They don't empower you to have the communications, the activities, the follow-ups, the relationship-building functionality that you would see in a typical CRM system. The implementations of these systems, as we all know, are very long, very arduous. They can be very expensive. The systems themselves are typically inflexible. If you want to add fields, add automation, add new functionality, it can be almost impossible to do to the large student information systems. And then again, just to maintain them and operate them and upgrade them can be, again, very expensive, very arduous. You need to have your on-site servers. You need to have staff that can support them. You might need to purchase additional infrastructure and hardware just to upgrade. So they are great systems, but they are not where technology is migrating to today, and they are not very effective from an enrollment management perspective. So we always recommend and obviously believe very much in the notion of CRM. And that is really the last thing that we would maybe see in the marketplace is schools that are using CRM systems or considering CRM systems. There's many factors to consider with CRM, and so that's really what I'd like to talk through briefly right now. Is first of all, let's establish what is a CRM. So for higher education, we talk about constituent relationship management. Excuse me. Any person that your organization, that your institution is maintaining a relationship with is a potential constituent that you would want to be as part of your CRM system maintaining that relationship. So that could be prospective students, enrolled students, parents, siblings, alumni, high school employees, employers in the area, school district administrators, business and industry leaders, whatever it is that you're looking to maintain a relationship with. And even just from an enrollment management perspective, all of these constituents could apply to enrollment management. You need to be maintaining that relationship. When did you last call them? What did you say to them? When do you need to follow up with them? What events have they been invited to? What have they been a part of within your institution in managing that relationship? So that's really what a CRM can do for you. It's not just for prospective students, but it's really taking all of your constituents and giving you the tools you need to manage those relationships. What does a CRM do for you, and what does CRM do for our clients in general? I mean, as we've said, we want to automate much of this. We don't want you keystroking data into the system. When a new inquiry comes into your school from your website's inquiry form, that should feed directly into the CRM system. Nobody should be typing that into the system. So things like that, as that inquiry comes in, sending out an email communication, 5 days later, 10 days later, following up with that person, sending them the right targeted communication piece in an automated fashion, not doing that manually. That's some of the things that we're able to do with the CRM system. You certainly want to get a 360-degree view of your prospects. So again, all communications, emails, phone calls, events, activities, interview notes, what has gone into this relationship, and I want to see that all in one central place. I don't want to have to go to somebody's email inbox to have them dig up some communication, or go to their paper notes to find out what was discussed, or go to some event sign-up sheet to see who came to that event. I really want to see that all in a single central database system, and that's what a good CRM will do for you. Again, manage and track all communications, all marketing events, high school recruitment or corporate outreach. We have clients that are obviously doing high school presentations, grad schools that are doing corporate presentations or junior college presentations, and we want to be able to track and measure the effectiveness of those events and activities, as well as maintain the relationships with the people at those schools and know who came from those schools or who came from those events and what applicants ultimately enrolled in the school. We want to increase accountability and control over the data itself. As data is put into the system or is modified or changed, who made the change? When was it put in? Is it data quality assured? Is there duplicates that have been obviously cleansed and scrubbed out of there? These are the sorts of things, again, that a good CRM system will manage for you and prevent from getting dirty data. And finally, not everything, but obviously just one of the last things we do is to empower the end user to get reports and create dashboards and get data out of the system. We obviously want to be able to give you not just the ability to track information, but also the ability to report on this information and really run some great analytics and KPIs around the data that you're tracking as part of your CRM system. So a good CRM system will be one that will really empower you to do that. Really give you those real-time dashboards, reports, and analytics, and govern it by profile, govern it by user. As the campus president, when they log into the system, they might see a totally different set of dashboards than what an admissions counselor might see. But with real-time dashboards and reports, you can really customize your dashboards. A good CRM system will let you, measure your marketing campaigns or your enrollment funnel or your missing documents. But give that information to you in real time if a status is updated, if a document is submitted, if a marketing campaign registration is added to. Just by refreshing my dashboard, I should be able to see that immediately. And then a cloud-based CRM system will be one that will lend itself to scaling, that in the future, if you want to start collecting additional information, or you want to add more functionality or more features to the product, when you add those to the system, you shouldn't have to write code and you shouldn't have to do testing and debugging to add those sorts of things. You should be able to add that functionality right away to the system and then immediately, again, create these reports and create those dashboards around that information. And that's what a cloud-based CRM system can do. And that's why we say there's a lot of choices around CRM, and one of the key things to identify is cloud-based CRM versus traditional on-premise CRM systems. And we're going to talk in a minute about the definition of cloud computing, but obviously, again, emphasizing that dashboards and reports are key from a good CRM to measure your enrollment management activities. Lastly, the question is not just what you can do today, but what you can do tomorrow. And your data should be accessible from anywhere. A cloud-based CRM system is one that should be accessible via your mobile phones, your iPad, your BlackBerry, Droids, and so forth. Traditional systems are obviously not accessible by these emerging technologies. And it's not just what has come out today, but it's also what's going to be coming out tomorrow and next week and next year. And will you be able to access your data from those devices? And again, that's where the magic of cloud computing really allows you to be assured that in the future, whatever does come out, whatever direction technology does go, the system will always be able to keep up with that.